Now we've asked Beach Talk Radio not broadcast outside on the property that's leased from the town. And for a couple of years, everyone had been broadcasting from that location. So we're all complicit in this quote unquote heinous crime since been reversed. I think creates an awkward situation for the town. It's potentially divisive for the town. I wish we could figure out some kind of an accommodation where it would just bring people together.
Thank you. All right. I'm glad you guys could hear that one. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. But right now, another great guest joins us from Lover's Key, Louise.
Good morning, everybody.
We don't want to ruin your last name. Kowitch?
Yeah.
Kowitch.
Always stick with the first name. By the way, how was the grand opening at Lover's Key last week? The Welcome Center, which seems like is you guys have been working on for
Welcome and
eons.
Discovery Center.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get the full name in there.
It's all good.
How did it go?
Well, first of all, Ed and Kim, thank you so much for providing this platform for public awareness. Right. We got so much great stuff going on in Fort Myers Beach and Bonita, and this is an amazing opportunity for all of us to learn from each other, just like our two previous guests, our veterans. They were great. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
To be honest, I wasn't there.
That's right. That's right.
No.
I was doing my first post-vaccination tour of the South, and that was amazing. My husband and I took a road trip.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I got to encourage everyone to go out there and spend money on our economy.
Right.
Help everyone out.
Well, I heard it went great. I saw the pictures and all that. So how could it not?
I wasn't there physically, but I had a few folks there representing us. I'd set up some booths. We are still not really in grand opening mode because we are still limited in the number of people we can house in the rooms there. Indoor restrictions still apply, even though outdoors do not. So we're hoping the actual true grand opening can happen when all restrictions are lifted. But that said, we have some amazing new programs that we're launching that, because of the new Welcome and Discovery Center, facilitate our ambitions to really become a regional hub for discussions on environmental education, stewardship, and getting people out there to learn about and cherish our beautiful Southwest Florida environment. It's going to be good.
Now, what are some of the displays or exhibits that are inside the Discovery and Welcome Center?
Great question. So,
thank you.
He
should be ringing a bell right now, but he didn't bring it out. But go ahead.
I didn't want to bring the bell out because I didn't know if that was going to violate the noise ordinance. So I wanted to be careful.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, yeah. I heard about this from your friend. We'll get into that because, in fact, the Welcome and Discovery Center does welcome public discussion, free speech, open forums. We actually have 4 venues there. So one is the exhibit hall.
Okay.
One is the community center, and I'll talk about that because we really want to invite the public to use it as our community space.
Right.
And then there are 2 downstairs open classrooms. The building is designed in a way that it's held by these massive load-bearing pillars that resemble mangrove roots. So it creates a nice draft even on the hottest days. And so that creates 2 separate spaces for discussion. Upstairs, the exhibit hall that you were mentioning, that's a permanent exhibit.
Okay.
And what it does is it takes the visitors through both the natural and human history of the park, so that people understand that that park, in a way, is a tribute to citizens in this area who banded together to preserve some of the most pristine coastal habitats. And it goes from the Calusa to Floyd Luckey to the Murphys, all the way up to the present day when it's a state park. So all the people who are involved in creating the park have a hand in that history. Nice. Then the displays walk you through the different habitats that you can find in the park. that said that Florida is just a land of inches. You go a few inches and you're in a totally different ecosystem. So what we've tried to do is to say, hey, we're a gorgeous beach. We know that. But there's also something to explore about what the state parks call the real Florida, right? That this is what people come for. They may come from for Disney, or they
Right.
may go to Cape Canaveral, but what people really love most are the gorgeous beaches. And so the displays explain the habitats that allow for those beaches, whether it's nature walks on the interior, mangroves, the estuary, or the beach and dunes themselves.
Now, you mentioned that about the layout of the building, and then that the classrooms are downstairs. Is that correct?
2 are outdoor classrooms
Okay.
downstairs, and we're eventually going to have a touch tank so little kids will understand, and people who are unfamiliar with our environment here will understand what's inside an estuary. So it'll contain some of the fish and seagrasses that a healthy estuary contains. But upstairs, and this is really what I want the public to understand, is that we've got, thank you.
Stage left.
Stage left. Hi. We've got this community room that we hope will host not only our educational programs, but if you want to use it as a space, if you're a community group, a civic organization, if your kids are getting married, we have amazing sunsets, and we have kitchen facilities for catering purposes. We have storage areas. We have, it's all Wi-Fi and smart board outfitted, and we hope to have art exhibits. So a lot.
So schools
can
can
happen.
cut. So
Schools can come. We've already had
homeschool kids.
homeschool kid. We've already had Lee County host one of their end of the year department meetings. We've had the Fort Myers Beach Garden Club tour. You know, we just really want to see it as the people's place.
Now, speaking about classrooms and stuff, let's talk a little bit about the Eco Arts Camp that's coming up.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. When it starts, all the good information.
All the good information.
Well, and what does Eco Arts mean?
Right. So Eco Arts is something that some states like California have pioneered, where you get kids out in nature, which after COVID is particularly important. And there they learn about nature by cultivating their observation skills through art and science. So it's really experiential learning in ways that you can't do through Zoom and through the iPad that unfortunately our kids have been kind of riveted to over a year now. So they go out to the different parts of the park where they have field trips. Then they can draw, they can conduct scientific experiments, and all of this is done with professional educators who are dynamic and creative, and who also want to bust out of their Brady Bunch squares from TV and get out in nature and learn with kids.
I mean, there really is no substitute for the touch and feel and being in the environment versus, as the best people could do, you know, with COVID was visual through Zoom. But this is a great opportunity for kids of all ages, 6 to 17.
6 to 17.
To join and do a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or the whole shebang and get that experience. Can you tell us some of the weeks? What'll be going on?
Sure. The way it works is we created this program, and it is a pilot, during the height of COVID. We took a risk. We're like, we're going to go for it and give kids something this summer, even if we had to take half a loaf and not a full loaf. So each week is age appropriate. In other words, each week is a different session geared toward a separate age group.
Okay.
So we only are allowed to have 15 kids per week. And we hope in the future we can expand that. But in a way, this is good for now, not just because we have to adhere to the mandates about COVID, but this will give kids a real nurturing experience. And
Mhm.
we're the only program that's going to be offering a teenage group, 13 to 17 in the area. So kids who may be looking at colleges in the next couple years, who may be taking AP Bio, or I know Bonita Springs offers marine biology.
Mhm.
This is a great way to experience something that not only they can put on their resume, but will be deeply meaningful in combining art and science the way pioneers like Audubon did, right? When he got out there and created interest and a nurturing stewardship for our birds by painting them, by seeing them in the tradition of natural philosophers in the 18th century. This way, kids too, who really are the future of stewardship in our state, will have that appreciation, that experience. So we have 5 weeks of programs beginning June 14th. And we are so sorry that that's
Yeah.
school is still in session in Lee, but this we set up before Lee ended. So we're appealing to homeschool parents. We're appealing to independent schools, grandkids who may be visiting folks for that week. But the rest of the summer, last week of June and all 4 weeks of July, we're open for business. Each session is 1 week long with different educators who are specialized in that age group.
Can you tell us what some of the weeks
Sure.
the theme might be?
Sure. Our first week, June 14th through 18th, is really focused primarily on art with a painter.
Okay.
Jenny Licht is our artist in residence. That's one of the new pilot programs we have where we're promoting art in the park for all ages. And so those kids will be focused primarily, but not exclusively, on painting what they see in the different habitats of the park. Then the next 2 weeks are being taught by Susie Hassett, who is a leader in environmental education in Lee County. She has taught camp for decades, and she is delighted now to be able to go right here in Fort Myers Beach to the park. And the kids go out with sand nets and fishing poles, and they look at what they see in the water through microscopes. They do nature journaling. And likewise, but at a more advanced level, the next 2 weeks are with a fellow by the name of Gary, who is going to be taking the older students.
Okay.
He teaches international baccalaureate and AP courses. He's a coach. He really wants girls to advance in science and not be afraid of science. And so they're going to be doing a tremendous amount of science and nature journaling on marine biology.
You know, this sounds like so much fun. When are they going to start doing some adults?
Well, as a matter of fact,
Did I just lead?
That's a great segue. And I don't want to leave before I mention, then there are 2 more weeks with another educator, Deb K. Dunlap, who will be working with the little kids the last few weeks of July. But since we've been operating under COVID, we have kept things sort of minimalized, and we're also brand new. We've never had this level
Right.
of ambition and scope in our programs because we didn't have anywhere indoors to go in case of a thunderstorm. So now we have this indoor facility with Wi-Fi and all that. We are working with Jenny Licht. I stole this idea from Ding Darling. They have an artist in residence program, and Jenny's daughter, Rachel Pierce, who was a former news anchor, runs their artist in residence program. And they get, kids from 0 to 100 out there painting murals, doing nature journaling, watching her paint. on the docks there. And that's really the direction we hope to take with our
Nice.
Art in the Park program. So yeah, as soon as these COVID restrictions are lifted, we're going full
busting
force.
out.
And hopefully next summer we'll have an eco arts camp for adults.
Awesome. Awesome.
Can you imagine?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Kim's dad.
Oh,
He's putting comments in the box. Nothing about you. He thinks he's funny now because he's in power. I'm
Can
sorry.
you draw a straight line? I can't.
No,
so
no.
I'm hoping
Not on the
maybe
weekends.
I can
oh,
learn.
there's
Definitely
there's
not on
no
the
way.
weekends.
Maybe photography I could do. There's no way. Like unless it's stick figures, I'm out. I mean, my skills are not up to par.
Well, we have 2 photographers who signed on
Well, there you
to
go.
teach and to do a few exhibits as well. So, a lot going on. Art camp. We have a speaker series that we're going to launch. Everybody from Pulitzer Prize winning writer and historian Jackie E. Davis, who wrote The Gulf, History of an American Sea. He's going to be one of our marquee speakers, to local scientists like Dr. Mike Parsons and John Cassani to talk about water. Our series is called What You See on the Land, Lands in the Sea. And the idea is that, it's a privilege to live in Florida, right? And with that privilege comes the responsibility of environmental stewardship. So we want to make this a process of helping everybody, snowbirds, residents, old-time residents, native
New ones.
Florida's, new people understand what's going on with our water, what's going on with our land, and what ordinary people can do to get involved to restore and protect it.
Now, where can people go to sign up and get more information?
We have a website. We also promote on Facebook. The speaker series, we're still waiting to get the green light because we want to have 60 people for each event. That's the maximum capacity for the community room. But right now we're limited to 30 indoors.
Right.
It's weird though, because the doors open up wide. This room is so cool. You can open up the doors and there are the mangroves. There's the
Very cool.
sunset. And but still, if we want to keep it air conditioned in the summer,
It's got to be
we
closed.
got to wait for
Yeah.
the restrictions to lift. But
And-
we'll keep you all posted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We get everything in?
I don't know.
Uh,
Do you have any questions?
I think
could
she
keep
covered them all.
going.
You're good at this.
You
You're
are
really, you need
so
your own
good.
show.
Aw.
You are
Just
so
not,
good.
just not in the public square.
Entertaining, got great vocabulary
Yeah,
and presence.
Yeah.
Yes, we love
You
having
guys
you
are
on.
Sweet. You
Well,
guys
thank
are-
you.
Well, it's
Well,
true. You
thank
make
What
it
are
easy.
the hours of the Discovery Center?
You
Don't say it. Say it's an
guys-
okay question.
Did you guys
Average.
Yeah.
read my mind? Do you have one of those mind? It's right now, the center is closed Monday and Tuesday and then open the rest of the week from 10 to 4. But we want you to volunteer as a docent because the building was paid for by the state, but everything inside it, from the exhibits to the docents to my educational programming, we're all volunteer and we're all hoping to get contributions. If you know any millionaires, that'd be awesome.
There you go.
But
She hangs out with them all the time.
yeah,
I'm hobnobbing
I'm not
all the time.
surprised.
Well, I had to explain to Ed last week what a docent was. So now
Yeah.
at least he's up to
Aw,
speed.
oh,
At least he's
well,
up to
that's
speed.
good. Well,
yeah.
You should
They
become
wear those
one.
big Grand Poobah hats.
Yeah,
and
right. Well, we need docents if we want to keep the center open for the maximum number of hours. So come and learn about how to be a welcomer. That's really all it is. Learn a little bit about the park, welcome people, so we can show people in this area that Fort Myers Beach truly is a beach.
Good to see you guys. It's so nice to be outside.
Isn't
by
it
the
great?
the way, the weather
Isn't it
down
great?
here is fabulous. It's
Yeah.
just a nice
Stellar.
breeze.
It's like
We got
California.
we got-
Oh man.
we got shade under these 2 beautiful palm trees.
Yeah, I noticed how you took the shady spot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a nice spot. I like
I
the
had
spot.
to borrow
I think we'll stay here.
sunscreen from our.
Yeah.
well, maybe I should
Fans.
just keep talking and I'll be.
I know.
I'll be
I'll-
just for
Can you get a little?
shade.
Oh,
Can I get a little
we're all
taller?
throwing some shade
I
today.
always want to get a little taller, but hey.
Well,
This is
thank you
what I got.
so much for coming on. And
Thank you.
anytime you want to come on, you're welcome. And keep
Aw,
feeding us the
thanks.
news and information, and we'll get it out there to our 9 listeners.
Awesome. And thank you, Ed. And
Thank you.
Kim.
You're
Wonderful
welcome. Thank you
service
so
are.
much.
Big hand for Louise, everybody. We got the live studio artificial audience there. And I